I believe people stereotype children from black children or people from poverty areas. So they think that people in poverty areas are not smart.
Black education isn't relevant to the black community, and nobody really pays attention.
If you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. Because they don't think that black people
Children or out here doing things that get them arrested, they're fighting each other on campus, and they're not really paying any attention to education. It's just like they're carefree to education.
That the myth behind blacks in education is that we're not capable of earning a good education. We're not, and when we do earn one, we're not capable of taking advantage
I think the stereotype that most people say about blacks' education is that black men are not college material.
It applies to certain people. There are certain truths because some people don't, like to learn or they skip.
some truth behind it because people don't read and actually comprehend.
No.
And I don't think that's true because there are some blacks who believe in taking advantage of that.
It's just truth. I think people, it's just survival. Some people are just brought up in bad areas and they have to do things to survive in that area. Doesn't mean that they're dumb. It just means that they know how to adapt to their
I
situation.
don't think that's true because black people have a lot of intelligence. We don't do it in a way that to express it. We just do it like to benefit ourselves and not others.
Create movements.
By educating ourselves, researching, actually going out to actually find the answers for yourself instead of actually looking at other people or looking to other people to get answers.
You need to teach people everybody is growing up in different areas. So just because you are in the suburbs doesn't make you any smarter than a child in the so-called ghetto. I mean, people need to respect where people come from and learn what they deal with. So I think knowledge.
I think that we should show them that we're interested in education. Like this program, for example, if we weren't interested, no one would be here. No one would be willing to go to a college school if black kids wasn't interested. If that was the case, then we wouldn't have black graduates or black people who are very successful. So I just think we need to show people that side.
I think what we could do is just try to put ourselves out there because people don't think that we're capable of doing anything. So I think that we should prove them wrong by shooting, coming around the fact that we're not trying to hide ourselves from somebody else. We're trying to help them succeed and stuff.
By just helping one another out. It's just the little things. It starts from the families, from the parents, so we can help each other.
We believe there's no truth behind that blacks don't like education.
So when you start talking about black people in education, I just feel like some people just don't actually understand the situation that's going on within a black person's education. Like they always saying that black people don't like education, they don't like to go to school, or they just go to school for the free lunches, but that's actually not true. Statistics show that actually 4.5 million African Americans have a bachelor's degree or higher. It also shows that women are actually bridging the gap between colored people and white people by advancing their education further than anyone else. I just believe that all the stereotypes don't mean anything because they're just hollow lies that everyone keeps spreading. But some of us actually dig into it, but others actually show that they're nothing but stereotypes.
This all dates back to slavery because black African American families were based on education. They grew up around education, but the white man they took it from. They created the law that said black people are not able to read, and they hindered them from getting the education. But the black African American families, they took that as an initiative to get their education, and they believe that all blacks should have an education.
During slavery, to have an educated slave was a high value. Owners believed it was important for slaves to be educated so they can read the Bible and learn to adapt to Christianity. Many times, slaves would play with the master's children and play school in order to learn, or they would even teach themselves to read and write. Writings the slaves did soon backlash, then soon banning them to even learn simple literacy. With that being said, that was just the beginning of it all. Blacks were still continuing to treat it unfairly, feel like they shouldn't deserve an education as much as white people should, because we should be just out in the field picking cotton all the time. Number of slaves migrated to cities for the protection of the Union armies. Understanding that former slaves had to be assisted to become self-sufficient and education was an important priority, the Union looked into a private philanthropy. They lobbied the Union generals to establish a public education program. Ending of the Civil War, Congress established the Freedmen Bureau. Established by missionaries from the North, free blacks also provided their own children's education, establishing private schools and paying tuition for the children. General Grant wanted to build a large public school system, then established 3,000 schools that later became the core of the public school systems.
We chose white and blacks to represent the stereotypes. Black is the stereotypes and white is the world's point of view. And no matter what, the world's point of view is always going to be right. So that's why it's pure. And black is always going to be negative. That's why the stereotypes. Well, that's why we chose black. The logo represents, well, the book represents education, and the fist represents like blacks coming together and standing strongly and firmly, because if they do stand strongly and firmly like the fist in our logo, then maybe they can overcome all the stereotypes and then show people that they're capable of overcoming those stereotypes. We chose the slogan well because we knew that would catch people's attention. It was like an attention getter. And if that caught people's attention, then maybe they would start wearing our designs, and then that could slowly change the nation. And that's why we chose the things that we chose for our design.